Alright guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing good. I'm gonna be showing you basically what I did on my previous most recent video. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check that out on my music page, AZAF-Productions 22. Many people don't know what that stands for. It's not an acronym or anything. It's my middle name. So my name is Gadiel Mendez, and so I decided to use that as like my production company or like my mixing stuff like that, my studio. So yeah, let's get straight into it right here. So I'm gonna show you how you can essentially bring a simple cover with just piano and voice Let's get straight into it. So, as we can see here on the session, I have a couple things going on. So as you can see, I have the vocals here, I have the piano track, I have the pads track, which essentially consists of more of like a holy type of pad, like a very chill pad, which is this one. Nothing crazy. It consists of some strings and another choir pad. We'll get to that later. So as we can see, it consists of that, and we have a bass track, which is a Moog, a Moog, synth bass type thing. Effects, which consists of cymbal swells, chimes, and like some effects, cinematic effects to make them more interesting. And then the drum track. All the drums samples that I'm using are from Perks Live. If you haven't checked the guys out, their stuff are amazing. I love it. And yeah, so we're gonna break down part by part and show you how I built this and how I added stuff and took out stuff and how everything works out. So we start off with a vocal. This song is Firm Foundation, a little cover we did for my good friend Andrea Friday. Go check out her page. Great person. So this is her voice. This is a bridge. I'm safe with you. I'm gonna make it through. The chorus. Okay, so after that we added a second harmony. After that, we started off with a piano. So this piano, I'm using a felt grand piano, which is from Keyscape, double felt grand piano, which is this one right here. This is what that piano sounds like mixed. Yep. So after that, I decided to add some pads. So I went for a pad straight from Omnisphere. I don't remember exactly what pad. I'll try to look it up and put it on the screen. So nothing crazy. This simple pad. Paired that up with some strings. So this is what these sound like. So that's just one right there. And then when it goes into the chorus, I added 2 more layers. So I did a central layer and then 2 more layers, which have different ranges. Some are low end, some are high end. Okay, after that, I added, to add more into the chorus, I added a choir pad, which is just like a, cathedral, like a choir. They sample, and this is what it sounds like. Yep. And after that comes a Moog, which is synth bass. This is very essential if you want that low end, if you want this cover, this production, if you want your production to really stand out and like not be simple, as we heard in the video right here. And you should definitely add a low end type of either a bass, a synth bass, something that has low end in it. So the first effect we added was some sort of like explosion type thing, but not too crazy, very mellow. So it's like it has some sort of like chimey, but like with like a at the end. So that's that. And then I stacked it with some chimes, which are right here. So short chimes, yep. And I paired that as well with a cymbal swell, just right here. Yep. So altogether, as you can see on this area right here, I didn't add the cymbal swell because we're just going in from we're slowly building into that. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to, while you're producing this, you have to think as a music director, like what would you do in a live situation? You know, like a worship song slowly starts off, usually depends on the song, but in this case, this song specifically starts with just a piano. In this case, we started off on the bridge section, going into the chorus, and then just finishing off like there. So bridge, we started off mellow and then slowly build it in with the pad and the strings and the synth bass. But to transition, it is good to add these type of effects, some chimes, some cymbal swells, some like different effects to give it more depth to it. So this is what it sounds like with the transition on. So nothing crazy, nothing too much. And then when we go to the bigger part of the actual track, which is the chorus, then I added the cymbal swell to give it more depth and just to make it sound. And this is what it is. So all of that gives it like a cinematic feel with it. So the kick is from Perks. This is what it sounds like. It has reverb, you know, very punchy. Snare. Like an 808 type snare. And then tambourine right here. And then a clap with a crash at the end. That's a clap and then a crash right here. It's like a distant crash. So for the drum section, I'm going to show you a little tip that I learned. So when you're doing this type of productions and you don't want a real kit, and you know, usually when you're playing worship music, there's a lot of like ride stuff going on with the drummer or percussion. So in this case, I don't have that. So what I'm going to add are shakers, a shaker sample. So you're going to notice right here. It's missing some sort of movement. Although it has movement, it needs some sort of movement to keep working and stuff like that. So when I add the shaker, it gives it dimension. Right here. So I'm going to play that same part with the shaker and you're going to notice it. As you can tell right here on the signal, it's not loud. You don't have to have it all the way here. Just something simple like there. It just gives it more. So now that we went through all the sections, we're gonna slowly add them and show you how this all comes to life. So we're gonna slowly add them. It's the beginning. It's a simple piano. Nothing crazy. It's with strings right here. It already gives it depth. If we add a pad, a little bit more. So how can we do that? How can we make it seem like a seamless transition into the next part, or when we start adding more instruments, you add effects. So this is without it. It's nice, don't get me wrong. You might want to do that. But in this case, I wanted to like seamlessly transition into it and like just give it something else to like distract you from what's happening and then slowly add in the different stuff that you're adding. So here's with the effects. Right? Now you're going to notice it's missing a little bit of thump to it or something. It needs a little bit more presence. So that's where I added in the synth bass. So this is with the synth bass. Just adds a lot. Without it, you see that? Yep. So how can I change it going from this to transition? Well, I add the cymbal swell, which is right here, and I also add another choir pad. So I'm gonna take it off, and you're gonna notice the difference. Going from the bridge into chorus, transition. Okay, good, but we can improve. So to change it, you add the choir pad, which gives it a little bit more on the layers of the pads. So this is with it and the cymbal swell stuff. Right? It just gives it like a wave type writing type or something. It just gives it something to lay on. And ironically enough, dad joke, you have to have a firm foundation, a solid base for it to build upon. Not only, you know, just on the music, you can add layers on everything. You can add synths, you can add basses, you can add samples, you can add vocals, like 20 vocals on like different harmonies. But if you don't have a solid either singer or keys or chord progression, then it's kind of pointless to do this. Or in this case, our bass is our foundation. So right here, without the bass, it feels empty. With the bass, gives you that solid foundation, right? And then after that, we add in the drums, and I'm gonna take off the shakers like I mentioned earlier. You're gonna notice how much it actually does, although it's not loud, but you can hear it for sure. Right? So I kind of think about the shaker in this type of genres. If you don't want to record with an acoustic guitar, then you want to add something that gives it movement instead of just being like 1, 2, 3. No, you want to add, you want to fill in that extra space in between. So you add in the shaker. So this is with the shaker, and you're going to notice how much it actually does. So this is with it exaggerated right here. Right? Bring it back a little bit. Cymbal swells again. Transition into it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about that part, which a lot of people were asking me what chords those were. So the chords on the actual song itself are He's faithful through generation, and then 5, and then finishes on 1. But I wanted to spice it up, so there's 2 options I could have done. So I could have been and a 7. Right? But I decided to do so what that was is 6, so and then a minor 4th with an E, A flat major, 7th, right? And then a minor 2, and then a 5. Plays a G with a 7 right here, right? And then just land on 1. So again, it is a 6, and then 1. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot from it. If you have any questions, make sure to comment down below. Hit me up. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is Mendes_Gadiel. I'll pop it over here. My YouTube is Gadiel Mendez. I'm gonna make another account, which is AZAF-PRODUCTIONS, another YouTube channel where I'm gonna post these type of videos. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. God bless you and stay blessed.